Just, my wife's shy, but I'm not. Sorry. No, I was sitting here just because I am the person that I am, and at one point my mind sort of wandered away and wondering how many of you left your cars unlocked out there. Thinking about how on TV there's always some psychotic with a sharp instrument that gets into the back seat, possibly a screwdriver or a taser or something like that, and you'd be driving along, you'd see eyes in the rearview mirror, and that'd be it, wouldn't it? It's like Senator Cohen said, I don't always have a choice. I just want to say thank you for this to the chamber on behalf of Tabbie and me. When I started to write the book that was mentioned, Carrie, and by Senator Pearson, the manuscript was rescued from a wastebasket of a house on Pond Street. A lot of the stories from Night Shift were written on Sanford Street. We won't less say about that. Yeah, and we lived on Grove Street as well. My first job after college was in the Bangor community. It was in laundry management. I washed motel sheets from all the motels in Bar Harbor, and whatever we shook out of these sheets we got to keep. You didn't always want to, but every now and then there'd be a little something. I can remember one day I rushed home, we had our place on Grove Street, and I said, look, Tabbie, I found a serving dish. She said, it's a bedpan. Well, we're still good, though. I mean, once you washed it out, right? Use it for anything. Sort of a conversation piece. So, I think most of all, though, that what Bangor has meant to my wife and I, we moved 13 times in the first 13 years of our marriage. All in Maine. Well, you want to say that out loud? Whenever the rent came due, she said. That's true. We usually moved along. One of the things that I know that she remembers really well, our daughter Naomi was then 2 when we lived in the place on Sanford Street, and that was right around the time that Carrie sold for the princely sum of $2,500. And her crib was in one of the upstairs rooms, and she had just gotten to an age where she was able to amuse herself, and she stood up in her crib and peeled all the wallpaper off the wall. And my wife and I went out to Grant's and got some plastic bricks. These are the kind of things you stick on the wall. And we got into it. I mean, big time. You talk about jigsaw puzzles. This was a new treat entirely. And we started to put them up, and we decided we weren't going to stop at one wall. We were going to do the whole room. We did the whole room, and we looked at each other aghast. It was like something out of The Prisoner of Zenda, you know? And actually, we were always fairly good people about that, and Tabbie said, I think we'd better tell the landlord. He lived across the street. He was functional barely, and he did, you have to throw yourself back in mind to 1972 in Sanford Street at that time. And we got him over there, and we brought him up and said, we did something to the room. He said, I love it. And I knew we were on the way. In 1979, we started to look for a place where we would settle for good. And we looked in 2 places. We looked in the Bramall district in Portland, and we looked on West Broadway in Bangor, which was a street that we both knew Tabbie from when she grew up in Old Town and used to come in to use the library, and me from when I went to the University of Maine and used to come into Bangor to use the library. And we talked about it, and there were things about Portland that we liked very much. But what we liked about Bangor was a sense of community with no frills, a community where people really did seem to care about each other, where we had ties from our university years, where people had learned to get along with us and to be friends with us in spite of the sort of shrill politics of the late 60s. Considering where we were in '68, it's very amusing to be living across the street from Rick Warren. I'm sorry, Rick, I had to say that. And in the years since then, what we've been able to do is to develop a sense of community and a feeling of real love for the community that we're in. I don't think that we ever once looked at each other and said, maybe life would have been better if we'd gone to the southern part of the state. Maybe it was just a few too many Volvos at that time. I don't know exactly what it was. Maybe it was because of the big changes in the southern part of the state and the feeling that there is more community and more sharing in this part of the world. In any case, we're really glad to be a part of Bangor, and you have to remember that whatever we've done for Bangor is a result of what Bangor has done for us. Thank you.